Let's go. Come on. Tonight, it's Live with Vince Elliott. Live with Vince Elliott. Tonight on Live with Vince Elliott, it's natural health doctor Rhonda J. Smith, Certified Holistic. And keeping the show on track, co-host Erica Mack. Who's the Mac? Let's get it.
Huh? What? I just got to start the show off like this. Oh.
Somebody's excited.
Yeah. Welcome to Tuesdays. Yes, it is. And welcome to Live with Vince Elliott. I am Vince Elliott.
And she is Erica Mack. And it's Tuesday. It's not Friday. It's
That's
Tuesday.
Right. What in the world? I mean, people used to seeing us come on Friday. Well, that's over with. It's all about Tuesdays now. So welcome to Live with Vince Elliott once again. And Erica, let's just get right on into it. I mean, what do people need to know?
What you need to know is that you need to go over to YouTube and subscribe to The Vince Elliott. That is The Vince Elliott on YouTube. And also you need to hit share. You got to share this page with everyone so that one, everyone can know the information. Two, our viewers go up. And three, that you are informed when we're on. So go over to YouTube and like The Vince Elliott Show.
Well, listen, if you joined us on September 11th, 9/11, we had Rhonda J. Smith on talking about natural ways that you can improve your health, maintain your health. And so she gave us a wealth of information, and it was like, man, we could have been on for 4 hours and probably would not have exhausted everything. And so we had to bring her back. And today, I mean, if you think we hit you last time with some information, or should I say she hit you with some information last time, wait till you hear today, because we're talking about diabetes, dialysis, heart, high blood pressure, and how you can reverse those. I mean, that's something that coming up I didn't hear about, and not even coming up, even when I was older. It's like once you got it, you got it, but she's going to tell you how you can reverse that. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's get right into that as quickly as we can, because we want to get out today, because the presidential debates is coming up, and this is like watching comedy TV for me. Anyway, I can't speak for other people. I know it's serious. Don't get me wrong. Don't send me no hate mail, but this is going to be interesting. So that being aside, we'll talk about that maybe another time. It's not a political show, but we do want to release people so they can watch the debates because I know it's important to everybody. I just like to
Absolutely.
find the humor in everything. So, how was your week?
Uh, Week was great. Just remember, viewers, to make sure that you ask your questions. Put your questions over there in the comment box. If you have questions or just want to like something, tell us something, great. So don't forget about the comment box. But my week was great, and we, as you see, Vince and I have the same shirt on.
Yeah.
Vince, Vince had his shirt on. I was like, "Oh wait, let me go put mine on." And so I went and found, even though he copied off me, but
I
I went and
did. I
put my
did.
shirt on. And the reason we put it on is because you had the presidential debate tonight, and most people are what they get their blood pressure worked up and things like
Yeah.
that. And you're gonna need a little Jesus before and afterwards. So we wanted to encourage you
Exactly.
as you watch the debate. But week was great. I haven't seen everyone since I believe the last show we did with Rhonda, which was the 11th. We had
Right. You've been out a
funeralized
couple
my
weeks.
cousin. Yes, funeralized my cousin, but I'm back. The funeral, everything went great. Thank you to those who supported, who went, who shared, who actually gave, donated, or anything like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our family
Mhm.
thanks you as well. The funeral, her memorial service was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Warm flowers and balloons, and oh, it was just really beautiful and things like that. So we really appreciate the love on that. And what else? And my other cousin who's in the hospital, she's doing well and coming along well as well. So we're moving ahead. So
Yeah. I just want to throw
that's
my
been pretty
my
good.
extra thank you on there as the host of the show to the viewers who supported you guys who supported, and oftentimes we think support, we think financial. Whether you support it financially, that's just as important as any other way you support it. Prayers are important. You can argue, debate which one is more important. Listen, the fact that you support it, we say thank you. So
Yes.
really appreciate the viewers for that. Now, Erica, you are a diehard avid bowler, and bowling season has just started.
Bowling
And
season has started.
yeah, so you had your first three games or whatever Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, so I need to, I generally like to keep like a 650 average. I was just shy of a 600. So, it
Mhm.
was not that hot, but it wasn't that bad either, considering I haven't bowled since probably the first week of March. And I
Mhm.
came out with like, I was 596 or something like that. So I was just shy of a 600.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, for the people who don't understand, how is it that you come about a 600? That almost sounds like 200 plus per game for three games. So explain yourself,
Yeah, so
because you ain't bowling 200 in every game. So come on with it now.
so yeah, that's why I was just shy of it. My first game was very low. It's like I think my first game was 148. So that's what did it. And then the second and third game were where they needed to be. So
You said you
that's
bowled
how I
what? I'm
came up
sorry.
with
You
it.
said you bowled what?
My first game, 596, I believe. It was
Let's
either
see.
596 or
Well,
it
see,
was 590 something.
but I'm saying you're throwing the people off with those numbers. When people go bowling, they're used to hearing scores like 150,
Oh,
200,
so yeah,
175.
okay,
Yeah,
I get
come
what
on
you're
now.
saying now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 596 or 600, that's the total of all your games. So we bowl three games, and bowling a perfect game is 300. So if you bowl 300, you'll have a total of 900. That'll be your
Right.
average. You'll have a total of 900. So I was just shy of a 600. So
Okay, so
yeah,
now see again, for
I gave
bowlers understand. For non-bowlers, does that include a handicap? I mean, are you saying that you actually bowled 200 one game, 212 another game, or and 189 another game, or is that those scores include the handicap?
So there's no handicap with your actual score. So that was my actual series of a
Wait a minute, wait a
596.
minute. Okay,
So
I'm gonna ask one more time because I want to be clear.
so yeah,
Are
so
you
I did
saying
not. That was my raw score.
you're saying that on average each game
My
you
raw
bowl
average.
close to 200?
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna have to
on
come out and see
average.
this for myself. I'm gonna have to come see this for
My
myself.
average, I ended with an average of 185
You hitting
overall
them like that, Matt?
last season. But yeah, so I was like, "Ooh, I might be in trouble."
I didn't
So
know you
yeah,
was hitting them like that. I got to come
yeah.
see this for myself, ladies and gentlemen. I will verify it for you because I've I've seen her bowl a little bit, and I knew she was pretty decent, but I didn't know she was doing that. So I'm gonna go and check it out for myself, and I'm gonna let y'all know whether
You're
she's
very
out there bowling them 189s and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, moving on. So,
But you
all
did.
right, well, real quick. So I got an opportunity with my wife to do a getaway, which was long
Nice.
overdue, long
Nice,
overdue.
nice.
You
I know
know,
y'all didn't even ask me
they were,
if y'all
we didn't
you
even
supposed to
ask.
get permission
We didn't
to
even
go.
ask the Mac whether we could go on the little mini vacation or whatever. So we did what you might consider a staycation in some ways. But without going too much detail, I did want to share one piece of it with you. So of course, we go to dinner and we also do spa treatment and things like that. So
Wait, you did the spa?
I did the spa. Yes, I know. So for those of you who have watched in the past, and then what's up to my cousin Frank and Kimberly, I I made it clear that I had a problem with going to spas, and my dilemma was this: I'd never wanted to go to get a spa treatment and have a man, giving me a spa treatment because, call me homophobic or whatever you want to call me, just don't call me out my name. But the thing is that I wasn't comfortable with a man rubbing all over my body and it feeling good. So I just never wanted to bring myself to saying, "Oh yeah, right there, dog. That's good, man. That's good." I couldn't utter those words. Now, so you had a woman doing it. As a man married 22 years, I felt awkward there too because especially me and my wife when we did it years ago. We were both in the same room and this woman rubbing and certain spas you go to, all you got on is your birthday suit. And so, they cover you, they keep you covered. But I'm just saying, it's like, hey, that looked like that might slide off, she's rubbing on you and everything. And so you go and, okay, this feels good. This woman's rubbing on me, but I feel awkward because my wife is right there, right? You rubbing on me, making me feel good. That just felt strange. So I knew I enjoyed the spa though, or I should enjoy, right? So I gave it another shot. This time they had us in separate rooms, but for some reason the experience is what it was supposed to be. It was great. There were no issues, and
They work on your sore muscles in your back?
yeah. They were working on that. I'm not cured. I got to get in bowling shape and basketball shape. But anyway,
Right.
I want to tell you this real quick story because we got to move on. All right. So we go to dinner. We're getting ready to go to this dinner, and it's like one of them high ticket restaurants. I'm talking. Let me put it like this: if you tip appropriately, you'll pay more in your tip than you do at your average restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
For a meal at your average restaurant if you're tipping appropriately, right? Okay. So that's the kind of ticket place it was, right? So I dropped my wife off at the door. I go park, and we're scheduled to be there at 8:00, and it's like 7:52, and we still got to walk a little bit through a facility to get there, right? So I said, I'm gonna hurry up back. So I park. I'm jogging back, and I got on my suit. And I got my jacket on my arm and I'm running, I'm jogging, and my wife starts flagging me down. And I'm like, oh man, what's she trying to tell me? Is she trying to tell me that something happened, we can't get in, or, what's going on? She flags me down. I stop running. I start walking. She's like, yeah, you looking like your dad. You looking like an old man with that run. You need to stop. I'm like, was I looking that bad? She's like, yeah, it was bad, baby. You just cut that out. I was, oh my goodness. When I tell you, I was in tears. Because I thought, having been an athlete most of my life, I had a nice little stride going. I thought I was looking smooth. I'm seeing people, they looking at me. I'm like, yeah, what's happening? And I'm jogging. She's like, cut that out. You need to stop that. Oh, you embarrassing the family. Oh man, when I tell you, every time I think about that, it just made me holler because she's flagging like, no, don't do that. Oh, and you got to understand, my father's 87 years old. So when she tells me I'm looking like my dad and I'm 53, I'm like, ooh, that's bad. So that tickled me. Ever since that happened, just the image of her doing this. No, stop. You're embarrassing us. Oh, that was hilarious. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Funny. I love it. Got to love us wives.
Oh, the Wires, y'all something else. So I tell you what, y'all know what time it is. It's time for another news.
And now for news you may or may not be able to use. News other than Trump, COVID, or civil unrest. It's In Other News. Live from one of our remote studios, it's news anchor Erica Mack.
Erica, what's going on in other news?
And welcome back. So, in other news, besides the debate that's tonight, I'm going to give you some cheerful news. So, 89-year-old pizza delivery man gets a surprise 12K tip. He gets a surprise 12K tip. So, here's what happened. His name is Darlin, and he's from Utah, and he picked up extra 30 hours a week delivering pizza for Papa John's pizza company because his Social Security is not enough. That's a problem in itself. But the fact that the person that he often delivered pizzas to started making an account every time he delivers, because he had this saying that when he delivers the pizza, he always comes to your home and he'll say, "Hello, are you looking for some pizza?" And so that's how he take the pizza to the door when he once he ring it. And so he would give it to the families and things like that. But this particular person, his name is Carlos, and Carlos would videotape him and post it on TikTok. And so Carlos got really upset about the fact that he's 89 delivering pizzas because he's not making enough to live. Just his daily cost of living is not enough because of his Social Security's not been enough. I think we as a country need to do better than that. Talk about that in the debate tonight. But
Wow.
so he created from his followers, he had like 30,000 followers on TikTok and social media platforms and things like that. So from his followers, they raised money for him, and it was 12K. 12,000.
Wow.
So that was,
There's so much I
love
can
it.
say about that. So first of
I
all,
love it.
you ran through that so quick. He was like 89 year. First of all, an 89-year-old that can still drive
Yes. That's
and
the
find
first
the addresses in the dark
exactly.
and deliver the pizza on time. I mean,
So he's
at
healthy.
89, he's not driving like I drive or you drive, especially
Right.
like you drive. Let's just not even talk
Yeah,
about
that
that.
is true.
I've experienced your driving. Anyway, that's another story.
I get you there in your state.
Yeah, well, at the time that you ride with it, you don't know if you're going to get there. That's a whole nother story. I was in the car with Erica driving, and she was driving in the rain like it was sunny and dry. But anyway, I digress. So 89, driving for Pizza, who? For Pizza Papa, who was it? Papa
No,
John?
Papa John.
Papa John's.
Yes.
And the
Great
followers of
pizza, by the way.
Instagram, the guy Carlos collects 12,000. Okay, so first of all, the guy Carlos, I mean, man, hats off to you, major.
Yeah.
That's the kind of love I want to be able to show, do with this show. I want to be able to help people doing random acts of kindness. First, we have to, make the show sustainable in terms of getting our sponsorship up and things like that. But I want to, be able to do all types of things. So real quick, I just want to say this. You said that was where? Let me get my pen.
In Utah, Roy, Utah.
Utah. And
Yeah.
you said Papa John?
Papa John's.
Okay.
Papa John's it is.
Okay, so I'm going to locate that Papa John's and make sure I go and deliver for them. So if he got 12,000, I figure I just want to make sure I deliver to Carlos and be able to get me give me a few
Exactly.
thousand real quick. But
Make
what
sure
else you got? We behind on time. What else you got?
Okay. War veteran, World War II veteran, which he wanted to be placed he wanted his casket to be painted like a pack of juicy fruit.
I'm sorry, what?
So,
I'm sorry, what?
wants his casket to be painted like a pack of juicy fruit. So juicy fruit apparently is his favorite gum, and every time he sees someone throughout his lifetime, he's 94 years old, and every time he sees someone throughout his lifetime, he will always give them a pack of juicy fruit gum. He go to the doctor, wherever he went, he always had juicy fruit, and whoever he come in contact with, he would give them juicy fruit gum. So he actually fell ill. So he was in the hospital at the veteran hospital and stuff like that. So his request was that his casket be painted as a pack of juicy fruit gum. So that funeral home that he was actually making his arrangements with and things like that, just prearranging his life or whatever the case, he contacted Wrigley's to get permission to paint his
Wow.
casket as juicy fruit gum, and they told him no at first. They said, no, cannot use our trademark on a casket. No. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so the funeral home, one of the funeral home owners, yeah, so they did social media campaign, like Wrigley's is denying him the right to paint his casket as the pack of juicy fruit
And they
gum
pressured them and
stuff.
they changed their mind.
Yeah, basically, that's what happened. They didn't want to get canceled. So they approved it. And, and now, when he does pass away, he's doing better now and things like that. But when he does pass away, they've already arranged for either, if the casket cannot be painted like a pack of juicy fruit gum, they will, what's the overlay they call? I think it's called a pall or something like that. They'll put that over the casket. So it'll be like a juicy fruit curtain over the casket like that. So yeah,
Wow.
I was like, this is amazing and funny all at the same time.
Well,
Yeah, that's what's happening out there today.
ladies and gentlemen, that's been in other news. Thank you for joining us. If you just joined us, we're going to be talking with Rhonda J. Smith, who is going to be picking up from where she left off on September 11th and telling us how we can reverse diabetes, dialysis, and high blood pressure. So you don't want to miss that. If you haven't done it already, you need to share. You need to subscribe, and you need to let people know, listen, this is a topic that really affects our culture in huge numbers. So you want to make sure that you are reaching out to people you love. Say, hey, man, tune in to Live with Vince Elliott. Learn about how you can reverse the effects. Not only can you reverse the effects, but you can do it naturally if you follow the instructions of my guest. She's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, it's Vince Elliott saying thank you for your support. Real quick, I just want to come on and say a few things real quick. First of all, you guys are amazing because some of you are supporting the show by viewing us every single week. You're financially supporting, you're telling your family and friends, people are going to the YouTube page, subscribing, hitting the notifications bell. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We got a team now. We got Erica Mack, who keeps the show on track, my co-host. We got a producer, super duper producer, Deidre. She's in the background holding it down. And we are now at a place where we are opening the window of opportunity for sponsorship. That's right. If you know of someone who has a business, or if you yourself have a business whose product or service align with our brand, we want to hear from you. Send us an email at thevinceelliott@gmail.com and we will send you the information. We have packages as low as $100 a week. Can't beat that. Those prices are going to go up as our audience grows, so you want to get in where you fit in. Also, if you want to support the show, simply go to the Cash App now there on the screen, $ Live with Vince Elliott. 1 L, 1 T in Elliott, so your money gets routed to the right place and gets used appropriately. In the meantime, we will continue to bring you information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs. Look out for Lil V. He's always trying to get on the show. So in the meantime, let's get back to the show.
Information on this program is for educational purposes and not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease, ailment, or other condition. Rhonda J. Smith is not a certified medical professional of any kind and is not qualified to give you medical advice. Her goal and the goal of Live with Vince Elliott is to inform and inspire you to take responsibility for your health and make educated choices of your own. Please consult your healthcare practitioners before embarking on any health program.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you are watching Live with Vince Elliott. I am Vince Elliott, and she is
Erica Mack, and welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. And we are live on Tuesdays now. That's right. Don't look for us on Fridays, only on Tuesdays. Listen, earlier I was playing this different music, and it had a nice little vibe like this music right here. And my good friend, Dr. Sabrina Black said, I need a party so that I can do some of those dance moves. Thanks for the entertainment while waiting. So she was actually now to think about it, she wasn't talking about my dance moves, which I just assumed because I'm such a great dancer. She was talking about the countdown where we had the lemur doing the thing while he was waiting. Yeah, gingerbread man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you again watched this on September 11th, you saw Rhonda J. Smith come on and give us some great information on how we can maintain or obtain great health through natural means. And so she's back today. She is a certified naturopathic health doctor, if I said that right. You notice in the disclaimer we said she is not qualified to give you medical advice. The key is medical advice. However, she is certified to talk about natural remedies. So she is an expert in her field of study. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Dr. In my words, I'm calling her Dr. Certified Rhonda J. Smith. Come on. Hey, oh. There she go. There she go. Welcome back on a Tuesday, no doubt.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Oh man, listen, I'm not going to even hold you up because we got to get out of here by 9 o'clock to watch the presidential debate. But
yes,
the information you have for us is
vital.
I mean, wow, I don't even know how much more importance I can put on it. So let's do this right away. Why don't we just go right into what we talked about, last week, just maybe do a few minutes recap, but I want to allow you to say whatever you want to say in terms of greeting my guest, my viewers, I should say, and then we'll go into that.
Great. Thank you. Thanks again so much for having me. Natural health is my love, and I've been able to just support my body by engaging in it. And so I'm very passionate about it. And I just want people to be passionate about taking charge of their own health. So it's my goal to empower you to have the knowledge so that you will be able to go forward and do what you need to support your body's natural healing mechanisms, and also to be able to talk with your doctor from your own knowledge that you've gained naturally.
Okay. Just a real quick tech point. If you're able to turn your mic down a little bit, I don't know if you are, but it's doing a little bit of distortion. At least that's how it sounds on my end. But we can still hear you pretty good if not. And by the way, Valencia says hi. She says it's been a long time since she's seen you, Valencia Fenderson. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, haven't seen her.
That's
her in
my
years.
neighbor. I think since we were teenagers. My goodness.
Well, I graduated high school with Valencia.
That's right. You always remember. Yeah.
Mustangs, baby. Okay, let's not get off track. Let's get back.
Yeah.
All right. So last time you were here, we talked about misconceptions. We talked about just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy. We talked about alkaline. Go ahead and just touch on some of those things. We talked about hydration and all that type of thing. So go ahead and hit those points you want to hit.
Well, so many people think they're okay if they're thin, and they don't recognize that poor eating habits cause high blood pressure, diabetes, and other health concerns. So, you may hear a term called skinny fat, meaning that you are thin, but you have issues that are normally associated with people who are overweight. And so we want to be careful with that. Even though you're thin, you definitely need to still eat right. You still need to exercise. We also talked about the importance of foundational health, the foundations of health. And so even we're going to talk about that today, because even as I talk to you about these issues that we brought up they're lifestyle issues that we hear about all the time, high blood pressure, diabetes, these things can't be reversed. And there are things that you can do to support your body's natural healing mechanisms. And starting point is the foundations of health. So we're talking about hydration and nutrition, elimination, not just from your bowels, but from all of your eliminative organs. That is necessary. You need to be able to make sure that you're exercising, you're getting sleep, and getting rest. So those are the 6 basic foundations. And that's any client who comes to me and tells me whatever issues they have and that's what they want, I'm going to ask them, what are your habits? I'm going to look at your dietary habits, your elimination habits, all of those. That's where we're going to begin. And it's my goal that people won't have to see me, right? If they listen to what I tell them, they'll be able to go on and they won't need me to coach them anymore.
Wow. Okay, so let's transition right into, because if you want to know more about the foundations of health, all you got to do is go to the YouTube page, look for Rhonda's picture on the icon and find that video, search for The Vince Elliott, find that show from September 11th, and you can learn more about the six foundations of health?
Right. I just named them really quickly. But
you did. Yeah, so we did an in-depth talk about that. But today, I think a lot of people are going to want to know about this. We're talking about reversing stuff that, at least in my experience, I've never heard that you can reverse diabetes and dialysis. And here's the thing I've always heard about diabetes that I kind of knew couldn't be true. They were like, well, it's hereditary. I think the habits are hereditary. You don't just, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't just get born with diabetes, do you?
Well, some people have, typically is if you're type 1, and that's where you have to take insulin. Sometimes that's an issue that can be hereditary. So yes.
Okay. But you're saying that diabetes, high blood pressure, and dialysis even are reversible.
Well, yes. Well, the process of dialysis is people's kidneys aren't working properly. So you need kidney support to be able to get your kidneys functioning. So it depends on what level you are. There are various stages of kidney failure, but if you're in the early stages, if you can at that point do something to mitigate getting worse. Okay, so you want to be able to do that. It has a lot to do with your diet. Too much protein. A lot of people who have who are on dialysis have kidney problems because they have too much protein in their diet, and it's mostly animal protein. And so we don't hear a lot about that. And you think about how, I know there's a statistic here in Detroit, and I was speaking with a Black Organ Donor Organization, and they said that there are more dialysis clinics in Detroit than they are McDonald's. And
wow.
I would venture to say, yes, isn't that amazing? I would venture to say it's because of places, fast food places that people frequent so often that are based in with meat products. You have a lot of fried foods, because fried foods do that too. That makes sense to me that we would have these elevations of dialysis clinics because people's kidneys aren't functioning. That's what they do. They go get fast food. So that protein in your diet, we are a meat-based society. We got to cut that out. And really all three of these areas are connected. If you really start focusing on supporting of one, you're going to get support with the other ones. So we talked about with the kidneys, people have kidney stones. Again, if you drink too much, again, sugar causes kidney stones. If you drink too much soda pop, protein, so you get those kidney stones. And so those things go into the other areas. So with too much sugar, that causes you to have sugar imbalance. People say, I got sugar, right? That's what people say. Or
got the sugar. I got the sugar.
Right. Or you have diabetes. It's your body just having an imbalance of blood sugar. The sugar in the blood is out of balance because the body is signaling we need insulin, because insulin is the hormone that helps to balance your levels. But when you have repeated high levels of sugar in your body, it throws your body out of balance with the blood sugar levels. And so then your body ends up storing the sugar that turns into fat. And then when you get fat, you get overweight. And that when you're overweight, that causes your heart to work harder. You see how these are all connected, right? So when your heart is working harder, you can't breathe. It's hard to breathe. And so that's why it's a connection among all these three. You need to get those sugar levels down, because as your sugar levels rise, your heart works so much faster. Okay. So I do an assessment with sugar levels. It's a test, a natural test, where I take your urine samples and saliva samples to do what's called the Ring's biological theory of ionization, right? Basically, we're looking at these areas. I'm looking at your urea levels. That's what is going on with your kidneys. We're looking at your sugar levels. I'm looking at your salt levels. I'm looking at your pH levels. So your upper and lower digestion, we talked about that before. And I'm also looking to see the type of debris that's in your urine. Those are the areas that we look at. Now we start, the most important of all five of those areas, it's actually 7, I say 5, because the pH has 2 areas, and so do the ureas. Those are 2 areas there. So it's a total of 7, even though I'm testing 5 areas. But we look at the pH. Again, we talk about your digestion, because once you get your digestion in balance, all those other numbers fall into place. That's why it's important to have our digestion together. So when you have that protein, so many people cannot digest protein, animal protein, and then it messes up your liver, and then you have liver problems. So everything just kind of reverberates. But if you get that digestion, you target that first, all the other areas begin to align themselves.
My question is, you talked about sugar, and a lot of people, when you say sugar, think of sugar coming in one form,
Yes,
being, that domino bag or something like
yes.
that. But explain to the viewers, what other forms can they obtain sugar in their body?
Oh, yeah, great question. So, yes, definitely not just white sugar, but high fructose corn syrup. Any form of corn syrup, you'll see that on the labels. Most times, all of those sugars are at the top. And carbohydrates. Now, we definitely need carbohydrates. So that's potatoes, breads, all those are sugars, right? Your body needs sugar. Don't get me wrong. You need that for fuel. But the problem comes in when you're sedentary. You have this intake, and you're not expending as much as you need to. Your body doesn't need that much. And so when you have that, then that sugar ends up turning into fat. So yeah, you get carbohydrates, all kinds of things are then turn into sugar. There are different types of natural sugars too, which aren't as bad, but sugar should be avoided in as much as possible, particularly the added ones. Definitely.
Yes. So how does a person go about rendering themselves and getting their digestion in order? I know lastly we left off on talking about detoxification. And so how would an individual go to begin that process to get their digestive in order?
Well, you need to assess where you are.
Okay.
One of the areas, definitely, we talked about alkaline water. That is one area, but you need to find out if where you are in terms of your digestion. Are you too acidic or alkaline? Your body needs to be in balance with both. Those are the extremes of the two. So you can see someone like me, or let me tell you, you can go and decide to get some strips. Not decide, but you can go to get pH balance strips.
Yeah, the
Okay,
alkaline
those
strip.
test strips. You get at the drugstore, health food store, and that's a basic way of being able to see what your levels are. That's your lower digestion and your saliva, your upper digestion. And so they should be both at 6.4. And so there's a little code on the back of those strips to determine that. And so then when you determine where you are, there's certain things that you can do depending on where you are. But there are 4 types of digestions. So that's where somebody like me comes into play, because you could be acidic, you could be acidic, alkaline, you could be alkaline, acidic, or you could be alkaline. Okay. And so it is, and actually, and there's one more, and then you can be neutral. So that's the 5th one. And that's the one that you want to be, where you're in balance. You're actually in balance. And so with those, I will look at those areas and make suggestions for you if you are too acidic or too alkaline. So just in a general terms, once you can, if you determine on your own that you're one or the other, it would behoove you to go and just get a chart to see some of the alkaline foods and see some of the acidic foods. Now, mostly we should eat majority alkaline foods, 75 to 80%. And those are leafy green vegetables. Those help to alkalize the body. They help to detox the body. And when you detox your body, that definitely gets your digestion in order. It's cleaning up your intestinal system, all of your gut, because that is where the imbalance is in many instances. So many of us we don't just have problems with what we mentioned, but we also have an overgrowth of yeast in our bodies, and that's caused many times, not just by sugar, but it could be too much vinegar products. We have that in ketchup and mustard, mushrooms, those types of things. And so we don't recognize that that has our digestion off if we have too much yeast. And so yeast aren't just women who have vaginal yeast infections. They're men who have jock itch, athlete's feet. Those are thrush. Babies have that on their tongue. Sometimes you may even get a coating of white under your arms. And so yeast can escape and it can be in the body in various ways, but really it's too much bad bacteria in your gut. And that causes your digestion to be off.
Wow. That's a lot.
That was absolutely a lot.
Ooh-wee. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I was trying to grab a lot of that information as you were saying it, and I tell you what I grabbed on that probably nobody else grabbed on to. I guarantee you nobody else caught this. She said, sure. Now watch this. Now she said there's more clinics for people with bad health, diabetic clinics or something like that, than McDonald's. Dialysis. Yeah. So here's what you're supposed to get out of that. If you want to go into business, don't open a fast food joint, open a dialysis center. That's how you get paid. That's what this is all about, getting paid. All right, so listen, I want to, hear specifically, and maybe it was all in there together with everything that you said. I know you said you have to evaluate where you are. Is there, you know what, let me go to the question. Let's do that. Sherry Henderson is asking the question. She says, what natural foods or snacks can we eat to lower and manage our blood pressure? What natural foods or snacks can we eat to lower and manage our blood pressure?
You know what? Someone just told me, someone said my mic is still distorted. I'm sorry. Someone texted me. And I'm not sure if I can get it. So I'm going to work as best as I can as I answer Sherry's question. I don't know I'm so not techie. It was working when we tested everything.
Well, no, it's working. We hear you.
Now, but it's fine.
Yeah, we just need it to be down a little bit. Because it distorts just a little bit. So really, I can tell you real quickly, I'm not sure how you have it hooked up, but if you know how to go to your preferences and then go to audio, and then when you'll see a little bar at the bottom of that screen that allows you to adjust the volume, and you can bring that down just a little bit. Okay.
So I have that, and there's no bar at the bottom of the screen though in this area. It's horrible.
Well, you can just talk softer, and we'll try to work with that. Yep.
She's a real energetic. That's going to be a tough one because she's real energetic and passionate.
I can get loud. That's why I need to probably be back here.
No, don't do that.
No. No, but let's answer Sherry's question, and I have some things there. So, really, with your blood pressure, you want to make sure to eat a lot of foods that are high in vitamins and minerals, and it goes back to the leafy greens, collard greens, kale, Swiss chard. Those things help you because they're high in the B complex vitamins and vitamin F. All those things. You need calcium and manganese. And of course, you can get these things in supplements. And really, those are the last things that I tell people. So I'm glad you asked about food. But you want to make sure that you are focusing in on the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. If you eat the rainbow, you will get the foods that helps to support blood pressure.
You said a rainbow is what?
Eat the rainbow. So various colors. Your plate should be a variety of colors. It should not be macrochromatic, as they say.
So you're not talking about Skittles,
all beige, or just one color.
You're not talking about
to have the reds and what did I miss?
You're not talking about Skittles.
Oh,
taste the rainbow.
Natural foods.
Oh, okay. I got you.
How God made them. That's what it is that we want. So yes.
All right, so let's see. Erica's got that background up there for you. Just for you.
There you go.
All right, so listen. All right, I know that the real answer is they need to schedule a consultation with you and go through your program. Right. Are there any bullet point things that we can give to our viewers to start doing? Say, okay, you want that diabetes to go away, that dialysis, that high blood pressure. what are some basic things? I mean, we know, lay off the salt, right, for high blood pressure. Is there anything else naturally that we can do that we should substitute in our diet, or some quick cheat sheet that we can at least start with?
Well, you know what? I understand your desire to have a cheat sheet, but the bottom line is it's going to take sacrifice. I mean, really, that's the bottom line, because I can give you a list of items. I have some, but I will be doing you a disservice if you think that these things are going to help you systemically long term, because they're just going to be band-aids. So really, the thing is, you need to look at what the cause is, what the root cause is. And a lot of people who may suffer from blood sugar imbalances, they may not eat a lot of sugar per se, but it could be because they don't have a lot of movement in their life. Okay, so they need to exercise. Really, the foundations of health are the things that you really need to embrace. But I will give you one thing that's good for chlorophyll is great for a bunch of stuff. So
Chlorophyll is that miracle deal.
I didn't say.
Go ahead, Erica.
Do you drink chlorophyll, or do you take it as a supplement?
I drink it.
You drink it? Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, listen.
I didn't hear a lot of times. I don't hear people talk about that, so that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to give people information on how to reverse diabetes, dialysis, high blood pressure. Obviously, we can't give you a step-by-step how to do that, in this short show. What we can do is what we've already done, and that is give you some tips on what steps you do need to take. And that might just be like, where to go to get the information. So Rhonda is the resource for that. When we come back after a really quick break, we're going to talk about an event you have coming up, webinars and information that you can get for free on your health, and what, she'll talk more about exactly what information she's going to be sharing during that time. And then also how people can connect with you so that they can get more information and they can even work with you on your program. So we'll talk about all of that right after this. Hey everybody, it's Vince Elliott saying thank you for your support. Real quick, I just want to come on and say a few things real quick. First of all, you guys are amazing because some of you are supporting the show by viewing us every single week. You're financially supporting, you're telling your family and friends, people are going to the YouTube page, subscribing, hitting the notifications bell. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We got a team now. We got Erica Mack, who keeps the show on track, my co-host. We got a producer, super duper producer, Deidre. She's in the background holding it down. And we are now at a place where we are opening the window of opportunity for sponsorship. That's right. If you know of someone who has a business, or if you yourself have a business whose product or service align with our brand, we want to hear from you. Send us an email at thevinceelliott@gmail.com and we will send you the information. We have packages as low as $100 a week. Can't beat that. Those prices are going to go up as our audience grows, so you want to get in where you fit in. Also, if you want to support the show, simply go to the Cash App now there on the screen, $ live with Vince Elliott. 1 L, 1 T in Elliott, so your money gets routed to the right place and gets used appropriately. In the meantime, we will continue to bring you information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs. Look out for Lil V. He's always trying to get on the show. So in the meantime, let's get back to the show.
Information on this program is for educational purposes and not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease, ailment, or other condition. Rhonda J. Smith is not a certified medical professional of any kind and is not qualified to give you medical advice. Her goal, and the goal of Live with Vince Elliott, is to inform and inspire you to take responsibility for your health and make educated choices of your own. Please consult your healthcare practitioners before embarking on any health program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm Vince Elliott, and she is
Erica Mack.
And we have our guest on today, Rhonda J. Smith. She is not a medical doctor. She is not licensed to give you medical advice. However, she is a certified naturopathic, I'm messing it all up, health practitioner that can help you with natural ways to obtain, maintain, and get to the healthy lifestyle and body that you should be living with. And so Erica knows all about that because she is one of those people that drinks the green juices and gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Something's not right with her. But anyway, those of us who fall into the average, we are the type of people who need this kind of help because, we're the McDonald's generation and of course that spans across many generations. Anyway, I digress. I want to get to real quick.
We have a viewer question really
quick.
Yeah,
that's what I want to get to. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Sherry Henderson asks suggestions for protein foods options. Allergic to nuts, no chicken, no pork, very, very limited beef.
Yes. So definitely you want to look at plants. So I talked about those leafy greens earlier. You definitely want to do that because those are the things, again, that will help to balance out your blood sugar, your blood pressure. It will help to balance that out. And so last time I mentioned on the show, and I'll say it again, 1 serving of kale has more protein than a serving of chicken. So again, make leafy greens your friends. Now, did the question that I missed it, is she allergic to beans too, did she say? Okay, so no. So yeah, definitely you didn't mention beans, or I don't know if you like them, but legumes. So beans, lentils, those types of things will help you to get the protein that you need.
Okay, and then Valencia asked a question. She says, but what about the people that is very hard and have changed slowly? My guess would be it's going to be a slow change, but I'm going to let you answer that question.
No, Ron, you are definitely correct. One of the programs that I have is called Your Fast for Life. We're going to promote that. So it's a 40-day online program, and I give people a choice of a food plan. And one of the food plans I have are called the New Soul and Spirit. So it's just new ways to do old favorites. So like beans and greens without fat back and all of that, because guess what? I know it takes people slow. Now, and it's not just some people. My suggestion for everybody is you do things incrementally. So if you come to me, and most people have a host of things they need to change, but we start with three, no more than 5. And we do those incrementally because you want to have some wins under your belt, right? Mm-hmm. You want to know that you can do this. You're not going to go from having been horrible with your health for years, and then all of a sudden you're going to be a superstar, doing things well. That's not how it works. And so, yes, you do need to do things incrementally, step by step, and have the understand that, oh, yes, I can do this. You have the encouragement to know that this is possible. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would add this too, because I've seen this happen in my life with water. I got to the point that I started drinking so much water that even when I did go back and drink a little pop, it was like I could tell a difference. Like, what? Right.
Because your body adjusts. And see, that's the thing that people discount, right? They don't recognize that the things that you're doing are helping to support your body's natural healing capacity. So Vincent, what you said was a very good example of that. When you give the body what it needs, it gets into balance. And then when you try to give it what it doesn't need and it doesn't want, it will let you know.
Yeah. So I always feel like, man, like no matter how much you talk, like you earlier in the show, it's like you just poured out a bunch of information and you just hit us real hard, but it just seems like there's never enough time. It's just never enough time. So how can people connect with you, and what do you have coming up? Give us a call to action or 2 or 3.
Okay, yes. I mentioned Your Fast for Life. And again, that's a 40-day online program where you get food plans, recipes. But even before we get to that, I give you information so you can assess your relationship with food and with God, because all of the areas of your life are connected, your body, soul, and spirit. And so you need to see what is going on with yourself. So that's the first 3 weeks. We don't even get into food first because you need to renew your mind, change your mind about foods first. And so that I have a section coming up on that on Monday, October 5th. So you can go to my website for that, www.souldelights.com. Also coming up on a Wednesday, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow, October 14th, I'm hosting a webinar and it's free. And this is called Naturopathic Health and You. Naturopathic Health and You. And I'm really going to be focusing in on what is naturopathy. Okay, that's where I am. That's my background as opposed to a medical doctor. And so many people have no clue. They say, oh, you're into that natural stuff. Oh, you're an herbalist. Oh, you a dietitian. You all of these things. It's like, no, I'm a natural health doctor, also known as a naturopathic doctor. So we're going to talk about what I do, and it's necessary that people know, because I have a lot of information that will help people. And a lot of times people know they need something, but they don't know what they need. And so I believe with this webinar, you'll be able to determine that going into natural health is the key. And employing someone like me is something that is beneficial, will be beneficial to you. And so we'll talk about that on the seminar. I'll take your questions. Yes, I'm going to share with you my services and, of course, offer you services and discounts. If you come to the webinar, you'll get that. But I really want you to understand so you can make an educated decision for who you will have helping to guide you with your health.
All right. So for those people who want to sign up right now, it's like, I don't even have to wait for the webinar. I want to sign up with her. Do they go to souldelights.com?
They can go to Soul Delights. I also have the consultations, one-on-one consultations with people. And so that is right there. You get one-on-one. So your Fast for Life is a program ready-made. And that's the one that I tell people, if you want to try this to kind of get your feet wet, that's a good one. But if you already know you want one-on-one service, you can go to my website. It's right there, and just sign up for a health consultation. And if you're not quite sure, if you already know you want to go straight in, you can do that. But if you want to ask some questions and kind of get some guidance and allow me to give you direction in terms of what I would suggest, you can sign up for a discovery call. But you can also do that on my website.
Well, there you have it.
The Fast for
Go
Life.
ahead, Erica.
Oh, I just wanted to know, the Fast for Life, is that like a weekly program where they come online weekly, or is it how many days is it a week that they meet with you?
Yeah, so it's a total of 40 days. You get devotionals every day, and once a week we have a conference call. So people can get on that conference call. You can ask me all kinds of questions. It's a checkup for the week, but it's open, and you can ask any questions that you want during that time. So you'll be on that call with me and anybody else who's on the program at the same time.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. Rhonda, thank you once again. I think we need to have you on like once a quarter or something, once a month.
All right. I'm available. I enjoyed this. This
in particular.
I'm sorry, Eric, what did you say?
Oh no, once a month. I was just going to say in particular, because I do get upset when I hear about the dialysis clinics going up. So, just trying to help everyone get as healthy as they can. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, again, you can connect with Rhonda by going to her website. And then at the website, you can register for the webinar that's coming up. It's a free webinar, or you can connect with her to find out how you can sign up for her programs or to get consultation from her. So just to plug the webinar again, you can go again to the website. I'm going to take that out of the way so you can see that. It is at 6:30 on the 14th. And then you will get it says Naturopathic Health and You. Learn what a naturopathic doctor is and why you need one. So you definitely want to check that out, 6:30. Go to souldelights.com to register for a free, and I did say free webinar. So ladies and gentlemen, we want to, let me get that out of the way there. We want to thank you guys for coming on and joining us. We've got people giving all kinds of great comments here. Rhonda, they're saying, thank you, Tavia Jones, for sharing. See, that means Tavia Jones shared this live with Vince Elliott, so we could get that information out to him via Rhonda J. Smith. And Tavia says, yeah, we got to have Rhonda on more often. So, yeah, they're calling for you.
All right.
People are enjoying the show. I've enjoyed this so much. Thank you all. Again, Sherry says, great show. So you've done your job. And like I said, we're going to have you come back. So wait for us backstage. We're going to go ahead and sign off. And we'll make sure we put that information back up on the screen for people to reach out to you. It's a real easy name, Soul Delights. So you can't get that wrong. All right. We'll see you in a moment. Thank you, Rhonda, for joining us. I can't thank you enough. Me. All right. We'll see you in a minute. Well, Erica.
Another great one in the
Another great one in the books. Wait a minute. Pause. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I just had to give me a little.
And we're back.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you joined us late, you can always go to YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube right now, you can go to YouTube, search for The Vince Elliott, and you can watch this show from the beginning and get all the great information. In fact, if you want to see more about what Rhonda's talking about in the Foundations of Health, you can find that from September 11th, and you'll see her picture on the icon there to be able to find out what are the 6 foundations of health, and so. Yeah, we talked about that. So, yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, we are on every Tuesday now. We used to be on Fridays. We're on every Tuesday from 8 to 9. And admittedly, sometimes we go a little bit longer than 9. But basically, we come on at 7:55. 7:55, we start our countdown just to let people get situated. And you see the lemur dancing and doing all that kind of thing. And then 8 o'clock, we kick it off, man. We got somebody with some great information. In case you, like I said, if you don't join us and you're new, this show is about information, education, inspiration, motivation, and we always have some laughs. And we do skits and all that type of thing. We didn't have any today, but we still have some laughs with Erica and her stories in other news. So I'm going to leave it with you, Erica. You got anything else?
Well, lastly, always remember that we're nothing without Christ, and this show is nothing without you. So make sure that you are subscribed and that you are receiving those notifications. And have a great week, and we'll see you again on next Tuesday.
Subscribe. And also you can contribute to this show by going to our Cash App. And we would really appreciate that. We put a lot of work into the show. We're looking for sponsors, but in the meantime, we could use your support. Cash App. And we'll get that on the screen. Our producer will get that on the screen momentarily. And actually, we're going to put it on at the ending screen, so you don't even have to put it up right now. And we're just going to sign off and say thank you. We'll see you next Tuesday. Sign on at 7:55 on Facebook or on YouTube, The Vince Elliott. Peace.
Peace.